We've been calling this a homestead, and if I'm being honest with you guys, we don't grow a damn thing, and no, this doesn't count. Now, our grandfather lived off this land, fed his family, so either we step up or we stop pretending, and that starts today.
This land provided for our grandfather and his family, and right now just sitting here stagnant, it's doing nothing for us. And I think rain or shine, that needs to change. We need to start living the way that he did, and that starts with these.
We've got the shop, we've got the land, we've been calling it a homestead, but we're still getting our groceries from Walmart. That has got to change.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
To catch you up to speed, this is the second video of our KinStead series. All this series is for is to show you how we can get back into the lifestyle of the generations before us. Getting our hands dirty, sustaining ourselves with our land, and teach you along the way. And if not teach, then hopefully have a few laughs with you. So in this video, we're building 6 garden boxes with no plans, no measurements, just a generic picture in our head, and with the hopes of getting sustainable produce over the years to come. It's a simple build that anyone can do over a weekend or two. Now, I could sit here and explain every measurement, every cut, and every board that went into these boxes, but honestly, that's not why we're here. We're here to build a homestead, so follow along.
I think after we just moved that little stack, I probably think we could bring the equipment out here. The only thing is those clouds aren't the most reassuring, but they're supposed to go south of us, and we're gonna hope they stay that way, because I think we're just gonna bring our miter saw and set it up here, chop these to size, maybe throw them in your truck bed, mine. Okay, we can throw them also in my truck bed. We'll just have everything in there. There's a lot of cuts, but not a lot. It's all just repetition, and at the end of the day, it's rough framing, not furniture making. So I guess there's nothing left to do other than say, cue the montage, and let's get it.
It's that time of year. Everyone is planting in some way, shape, or form. It could be a tower garden similar to what Logan has now. It could be some flowers in your windowsill, or it could be a few 100-acre patch that has you praying for rain. No matter what you plant, you always want a solid harvest. And in this video, we are trying to build garden beds that will sustain themselves with nutrients, withstand the Illinois weather, and over time save Logan money in produce. And it all starts with some pressure-treated 1-bys, 2-bys, and 4-bys. This build is something I believe people all over the country should be doing. Save yourself some money, teach yourself about agriculture, and have some responsibility by taking care of your garden.
I had just thought and told Tanner that we'd get ready to load all this, take it to the back, drop it off back there where we're gonna be building the boxes. That way we don't have to move them later. But it occurred to me that a 2x8 is not truly 2 inches by 8 inches. And in such, we cut these to 24 inches. And if those aren't truly 8 inches, they're really 7.5, then we're gonna have a problem later. So we're just gonna cut them again really quickly. Shouldn't take too long, but we'll measure them down to 22 inches because that'll all be 22.5. It'll get capped in the long run of things. Should look nice, should work out. Just have to do things twice. Cue the montage. Nah, I'm joking, not again, not again.
We do not, in fact, have the tripod. It's sitting out behind me.
Not behind you?
Like outside.
Oh, don't worry, I'll make a big loop and then you'll be able to grab it. Big loop. This is normally the one low wet spot. Oh, dude, shoot, it's dry. You go grab that so we can film this stuff for our luscious viewers. That means you take the camera.
I knew it. As soon as I hopped out, I knew what you were
made a bet. I got this back. I'm driving, so I clearly cannot have this. Yeah. Also, there's a couple of those gutter things. Don't let me hit them.
There's one.
How far back do you think we should go with this?
I don't know.
Far enough to where Katie can't reach it with a hose. Man, we're gonna want to build them close though. I guess if not, we'll just have to make a lot of loaded trips. I can't wait for her to see me. I mean, they don't need to be all the way back on the line, right?
I mean, I would put him back there.
Okay. He would do it.
You're right in this area. Where's your pool planning to go in the future? What about a pond?
Well, that's the other thing. I think they probably need to go that way, because if we do another building, it will be right here.
The building was going to go behind the pond.
What?
I thought the building was going to go behind the pond.
Hell no.
We have talked about this before, and you said a building behind the pond.
I said a showroom one day.
Yeah. But
I'm saying another shop out here for me.
Okay.
I just plan on going like directly off the porch. That would give us 100 some odd foot worth of shop. And you know what? If the day comes that we're gonna do that, we probably have a lot of money, and we'll just move the fucking garden beds. Oh, real simple build here. Real simple. Here's what you're going to do. I want to just use these to stabilize.
Anyway.
We're going to start with the bottom.
Flush it up.
Flush everything up.
Crazy. And letter 8. We're not going to talking head it.
Yeah, we probably should, but it's windy. So hopefully these fluff balls do something for you, but idealistically, we're not going off plans here. We're just building. And so essentially we're gonna have it roughly be 4 foot by 8 foot. So we have our 22-inch 4x4s here. We're just simply gonna set this on, nail it in, set another one on, nail it in, set another one on, nail it in. Do the same on the opposing side, that'll be one piece. We gotta do that 6 more times? No, excuse me, 12. 12 times total. And that'd just be the outsides. Then from there, we'll take each piece and we'll nail in the long 8-foot boards. Then they'll eventually get capped and capped on the top, and it should look pretty in the long run. We'll let them sit, dry, get some stain on them in the long run of things. And then eventually we'll have produce for the small investment of $1,000 in lumber. So really should pay for itself in the next 3 to 5 years.
Let's get enough battery. We're good. Takes me back to the old days. We good? You just wanting 2 in there? Or?
You can do 2, and then we might come back and screw it or something, but. Yep. You think it'd be easier just to burn one side?
What do you mean?
Like to set this one on now and then go to that side, or no?
I don't know.
Try it and just see, I guess.
Sure.
Because then we can forcibly push that where we need. Just shoot one and then we'll have to pull my way. Getting lighter.
No.
What? How'd you get a banana? What'd you say about my truck? A goose? What are you doing? What? Cup holders, wow. Who knew?
Rear view mirrors. Ah, you motherfucker! The last nail!
Literally the last nail.
Okay, we got the nail gun unjammed. You know, of course, it happens on the very last one of these. Don't worry, we still have to do the long runs of everything, so that's gonna take maybe a bit longer. Hopefully no more jamming of this. We learned how to unjam it now. That's a first. So let's get it.
I think these were the easy ones. I feel like
Yeah.
the long ones might be a little bit more challenging, mainly because we're gonna be fighting the ground.
Yeah.
So there's that.
You don't want to do it vertical?
Well, I'm trying to decide if I want to go get some stuff to set them on. We might throw a few of those down on the ground to use as just setup blocks, basically. Uno. Dirt.
Let's just go dig it out from there. See if they notice.
Let's dig a pond.
Yeah.
KinStead Pond 2026. Probably more like
28.
2036, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, that's hopefully the house of me. Ready?
No.
Ready?
No.
Now?
Yeah.
Whole way up or? Good?
Yeah, I think.
Any more?
We should have built this where we wanted it to lay.
Yeah, we don't have a pallet jack, a forklift, a skid steer, a track hoe. We don't have a four-wheeler to drag it. We have a truck.
In hindsight, I do not know why I volunteered my truck as tribute, but here we are. And the one thing about using treated lumber is it's deceivingly heavy, and lifting it into a truck bed is not as easy as Logan made it look. But this one hiccup led us to building all other garden beds within a mere inches of where they would be forever. And though me standing on the inside of the garden box may not be the safest route, I always remember what Austin Powers says. I too like to live dangerously. The spacing we used was done by eyesight and centered off Logan's back porch. We didn't use any laser levels, string lines, or really any surveying equipment, although myself and Logan both did it in high school. We did have a layout in mind that would allow for growth with greenhouses, trellises, and landscaping, but that's for the future of KinStead. So this is the part where you should probably hit that subscribe button.
There's just something different about growing your own food. Maybe it's because it's one of the few things left that actually still connects us to where we came from. Long before grocery stores, before the drive-thrus, or before everything became convenient, if you wanted food on the table, somebody had to grow it, raise it, harvest it, and then preserve it. You were connected to the process, and because of that, I think you appreciated the outcome a little more. And honestly, that's the part of why these boxes matter to us. This field has seen a lot over the last few years. Trucks hauling in materials, equipment moving dirt, concrete replacing what used to be a row of beans. A lot of change has happened out here so we could build this place. So being able to use a small piece of this land the way it was meant to be used again, it feels right. Growing up, we always had a garden. Not one of those huge gardens you see on social media, but big enough that every summer seemed to revolve around it. Picking tomatoes in the heat, cucumbers and zucchini coming faster than anybody could ever begin to eat them, watermelons, pumpkins, green beans. Back then, it felt like work, and now it just feels like some of the best memories we have. Maybe it was helping your grandparents pick green beans, or maybe canning tomatoes in the kitchen. Maybe for you that meant baling hay or raising livestock, or just spending your summers outside until the porch lights came on. Whatever it was, I think most of us had something that taught us the values of hard work before we were old enough to even appreciate it. And with that, I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments. Did you grow up with a garden, and what was one thing that your family planted every year? And that's what I'm really hoping this place can become. Not just a house and not just a shop. A place where my family can come together, or the kids can go outside instead of staring at a screen all day. A place where memories will get made. And so, will 6 garden boxes change our lives? Probably not. But every homestead, every farm, every family legacy started with somebody taking a first step. And for us, this is just one of those steps.
Yeah. Whew. 6 garden beds done.
And
like that. Well, you know, not done, but framed.
4 hours.
I don't think that's
3
terrible.
hours.
Yeah, we're getting
tired.
there. Now we just have to trim them out, and probably the most important part, fill them with different sticks and debris in the bottom, some sawdust, probably compost, probably topsoil, a mix, and I guess plant flowers and vegetables. We're getting there.
I'll be honest, we were mostly figuring this out as we went, and that's the beauty of building without formal plans. It gives you complete creative freedom. Now there are downsides, as if it looks bad, there is no one else to blame but yourself, but can also be an original that becomes your quote-unquote style. And this is one of the optional touches we chose to add simply to make the finished garden box look better. The trim boards on each corner along with the top cap are not necessary, but they help give the project a more polished look and let us feel a little bit more like real woodworkers. It's funny, we spend so much time and effort building furniture for other people, from dining tables and cabinets to built-ins and all other custom pieces. Still, there's something especially satisfying about building something for yourself every once in a while. Nobody is waiting on you. There's no deadline and no client revisions last second. Just building whatever you want and doing it on the fly. With the boxes assembled, we decided to divide and conquer. While Katie jumped in to start staining, we headed back to the shop to figure out the remaining trim pieces. You see, most of the time when you guys see us building on the channel, it's usually just 2 brothers trying to figure something out. But projects like this have a way of bringing everybody together. Katie staining, kids supervising her, us back in the shop. What started as a simple idea for some garden boxes slowly becomes a moment to remember. And really, that's where we want KinCraft to head in the future. That's why these videos are just as much for you all as they are to us. They show our growth, our memories, and moments people wouldn't believe unless they were documented. They are both history teacher and fortune teller for what we can do in this life we have. As the stain went on, these stopped feeling like a pile of lumber and started feeling like a permanent part of the property. Before long, they'll be filled with soil, plants, and hopefully more produce than we can handle. And yes, while they're simple compared to some of the projects we've tackled in the past, that simplicity is kind of the point. The best projects aren't always the biggest ones. Sometimes they're the ones that give you a reason to spend a little more time outside, getting your hands dirty, and enjoying the ground that you're actively standing on. And for us, that just so happens to be our family's ground.
Am I helping you or what?
Yes,
What
we're
do you
gonna
want?
grab the saw. We're gonna get the big
It's a
saw.
one-man job.
It is. We're grabbing the full fucking saw. We're not dismantling it. It was really just so me and you. Just beat a cat, buddy.
Hugelkultur.
That's what these
Big
are for.
logs go in the base of that. Then some small scraps. Now note, it's got to be real wood. It can't be glue. It can't be composites. It can't be really anything but real wood, unfinished. That goes on. And then I think we read that cardboard could go on, sawdust could go on.
And then the topsoil.
Soil. Hugelkultur. It's fun to say.
I'm stuck.
Well, don't worry. We're just waiting on you. Okay, this is probably all the longer of an extension cord I got.
You know what? That's better than, you know. Wait,
Carrying them all the way.
Side ones. I got knocked the out in that ordeal because we were supposed to go on 3.
That's why you have your safety glasses on.
I don't know what hit under the glasses. Ow!
We started on the trim out here, and long story short, we got smart, if you can say that about us, but we ended up making a jig that's 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch L that we can then put on our corners like this, and essentially we then can nail everything in the way it's supposed to be nailed in. So we've had Katie out here slaving away while staining, because I mean, what else would you want to do on Mother's Day other than that? So happy Mother's Day, belated to everyone. I'm sure this will not be put out anytime soon like we want, but either which way, still happy Mother's Day. And so we have started, and it has been working. I don't know where our jig is. Where's our jig? Got it. I'm coming back. Made a jig, 1.5 inch. We put it in our corner. Voila. Then we know where to nail each of these. We're using brad nails right now. Tanner's gonna come back tomorrow, next day, maybe the next day after that, and we're gonna sink trim head screws in here for long-term holding power. Sink these in together. Then we still have to run our trim up the sides. Catherine can finish staining. And then we have to be doing the Hugelkultur, right? Is that what it's called? Hugelkultur it. So lots of logs to go in, lots of sticks to go in, lots of scrap to go in, lots of everything to go in, and then plant stuff. Let's get it. Two at a time. Wouldn't do this for furniture, don't advise. For garden boxes, be all right. Try it on a dadgum knot. I mean, just making an ass load of noise. Sadly, the fall off is gonna be a lot of waste, but that's what we get for not doing plans or thinking about this and just jumping into it.
You carry it all.
I will. Done it, I think, every time so far pretty well.
Abusi.
Bull true. I think you're making it harder. But I think you're making it harder. Yep.
How about you?
Dude, you're really making it harder. I'm not joking.
Put it on the shoulder then.
I mean, they're really looking like something. Can't you see us out here just getting tomatoes? Jalapenos? Huh? Produce? Can you see it?
Come shopping here, and by shopping I mean I'm gonna steal.
Whoa, whoa. I know this is King Crab and KinStead, but big butt here, kid. I'm charging you.
How about you?
There was grass growing there at one point.
Look.
Yeah, I don't know why that happened.
Is that very yucky?
What
Yeah.
caused your ground to look like that?
Look at our feet.
Oh, I see it.
Look at our hands.
I'm waiting for it to go down. Alrighty. So Logan didn't have the mics plugged in the last time, so I've already done this once, but I'm gonna try to remember it all. We're still working on garden boxes. It's taken a little longer than expected. Living in Illinois, you know, we get every season in the span of 4 days. So we had, you know, rain, flood, heat, humidity, so it's just been iffy on all that. We're now on to finishing up the trim, getting the verticals done. And then from there, we will have to stain everything after it sits out for a few days and gets acclimated. Then we can fill it with, you know, the hedge posts, wood shavings, dirt, cardboard, manure, all that stuff. And Logan can actually grow and, you know, not have to go to Walmart and be dependent on everything there.
Hugelkultur.
Hugelkultur.
You know, we nailed these on just for a temporary hold, as well as sheer strength, and so now for the long-term hold, we're coming back with some 3-inch exterior grade screws. That's gonna prevent this hopefully from just falling apart when we start adding the dirt and all the Hugelkultur fillings to it. We're also gonna still get some 4x4s in the middle to keep some of that structural, hopefully. So, kind of the boring part. We're just gonna start putting screws in wood.
Might need one in each.
2. How they look?
Great.
They look great. You ready to get them polished up and done and have our own garden? Oh yeah.
With the beds finished, it was finally time to actually start filling them, and instead of simply just loading these boxes full of dirt, we decided to use a method called Hugelkultur. And by this point in the video, I think you've probably heard it said already. But as complicated as Hugelkultur might sound, the idea behind it is actually pretty simple. In nature, forests have been doing this on their own for thousands of years. Trees fall, branches pile up, leaves collect around them, and over time, everything begins to break down and return its nutrients back to the soil. What we're doing here is essentially speeding up and organizing that process inside the raised garden beds. The first layer is made up of larger logs and chunks of wood, which led us to our Papa Kip's farm. For years, these old hedge posts have been sitting out here. Some had been completely swallowed up by brush, trees, and everything else that nature could throw at them. But honestly, in this instance, that's what made them perfect. Because in a way, this is exactly what Hugelkultur is all about. Taking materials that are already returning to earth and putting it back to work one more time. The science says these logs should slowly break down over the years, helping retain moisture and releasing nutrients back into the soil. Now, whether that means we'll have the greatest garden Southern Illinois has ever seen, I guess we'll just find out together. And that's just the first layer. On top of that, we're gonna add smaller branches, sticks, and other organic materials before eventually covering everything with soil. And I mean, I get it. At first glance, it might seem strange to intentionally bury wood where you're planning to grow vegetables, but there's actually quite a bit of science behind it. One of the biggest benefits is water retention. As wood decomposes, it becomes incredibly porous. Think of it almost like a giant sponge buried underneath the soil. During any rainy periods, that wood can absorb and hold moisture that would otherwise just drain away. And then during those hot and dry stretches, it slowly releases that moisture back into the surrounding soil. So for us, that means less watering and more consistent moisture levels for plant roots. And let me tell you, that's just one of the many benefits. Another advantage is soil health. The moment wood goes into the ground, nature gets to work. Fungi begin colonizing the material. Microbes start breaking it down, insects move in, and the entire ecosystem develops underneath the surface. And over time, all of those organisms help convert the wood into organic matter and nutrients that the plants can actually then use. Healthy soil isn't just the dirt, it's a living system. And the more life that can support beneath the surface, the better the environment you're creating above for vegetables and other plants. And then that brings us here. There's also the practical side of this method. Anyone who's filled a raised garden bed knows how quickly the cost of soil can add up. These beds are fairly deep, and filling every inch with purchased soil would take a lot of material. So by using logs and branches in the lower portions of the bed, we're putting that space to work while reducing the amount of soil needed to finish this project. And the nice thing is, we're using materials that are already available to us. Instead of burning it, hauling it away, or letting it sit in a brush pile, it's becoming part of something actually useful. The trade-off in this instance is that Hugelkultur isn't really an instant gratification method. The biggest benefits come over time. As the wood continues breaking down over the next several years, the bed should become richer, hold water better, and develop a healthier soil structure. Luckily for us, we're not just building these garden beds for this season. We're building them for years down the road.
I'd say start back there probably.
You do not. You do not tell me what to do.
I'm the camera
behind
guy.
the camera. You do
I'm
not,
the camera guy. You're gonna go back there. We're gonna start over. Pause. Come on. We're out here, I think, on day like 3, maybe 4, and I say day loosely because we've not had like full days working out here. It's just kind of been intermittently in between projects. But what we have done in the meantime is we finally got all of our trim tacked on. We got it screwed on, both on the side trims as well as the caps. And then from there we started leveling things out because what good are they if they're not level? And so basically we pulled from the house. We know that they're centered now, at least centered in my wife's eye. From there we found our high point on that box. We leveled each way on that box. Got this box perfectly level. And then from there we took and we leveled it from this point and did the same thing for each individual box. Now no, we did not video that because we saved the last box here, walk with me, over here to show you guys that. So that's what we're gonna get ready to work on. The only problem is we have a heaping pile of hedge in the way. So now that those boxes are level, we can start moving the hedge out of the way, then thus moving this box where it goes and leveling it from there. That's what we're gonna do. When that is done, we can officially start mixing our dirt and manure and compost and sawdust and everything else that we're gonna throw in these Hugelkultur boxes. Pick it up. Put it in the pot.
Dad and Dana are finishing the boxes. So it's sunny. Me and Dad got the boxes out here for the garden boxes.
Yep. Show them. Show the people. The cardboard. And we're gonna put that in the boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say we don't really know what we're doing, but Hugelkultur.
But Dad and Dana got some wood in here.
Yeah, tell them Hugelkultur.
They really got it.
Not gonna say that word?
No.
Try and say it, just once.
Hugelkultur.
Nice. All right, let's get to work. What do you say?
Subscribe.
Well, you heard the kid. We did not tell him to say that. He has just heard it enough from us, from being in the shop, being in the videos, helping us on the computer. So please, if you do not mind, it's free, it's easy. Please hit that sub button and join us. Now let's get back to some good old Hugelkultur by filling these boxes with cardboard, dirt, and sticks. And of course, this video would not be ours without using some of Garrett's toys. This episode is his tractor, and well, a lot of his dirt from the pile. Now, I was not there for filling the boxes with dirt. I had a buddy celebrating his graduation, and I wouldn't miss that party for anything in the world. But here is what I firmly believe Logan was thinking, and maybe even saying the whole time while working. She likes the way it's pulling while we're tilling up the land. She's even kinda crazy about my farmer's tan. She's the only one who really understands what gets me. She thinks my tractor's sexy. Thank you, Mr. Kenny Chesney. As much as Logan wants this video to be about him and Garrett's tractor, we still have garden boxes to finish. And now that the hard part of Hugelkultur was over, it was time to fill the boxes with load after load of dirt. In between tractor trips, we were working that dirt into any void and empty spot within the boxes. Now these next layers will do a lot of the heavy lifting in the early years while the Hugelkultur system slowly develops underneath the soil. And if you've been watching, up to this point we had hedge posts, sticks, wood offcuts, cardboard, and now dirt. But we were still missing one element that was needed. Some form of topsoil to promote growth and help these small starters enter the elements of southern Illinois without dying immediately. All we had to do was go and buy the most cost-efficient bag we could find, then just spread it over the top using a mix of kids' gardening tools and a shovel. This dirt has already settled and will over the years, but that's a huge part to how Hugelkultur works. Yes, we did try to fill the voids as best as we could, but you are never ever going to get that perfect. So over time, when those voids naturally collapse and get filled in with a much finer, more organic material, it will create a much tighter, more nutrient-rich ecosystem within the boxes. So what looks like a loss of height initially is actually the start of a strong, high-production garden, which is all you could really ask for on the first few years of growing.
As we wrap up the final touches on these boxes, it is really hard to not just appreciate how much this project had evolved from where it started. I mean, look at it this way. What began as a simple idea for just a few raised garden boxes has become an opportunity to learn something new, spend time with the family, and take another step towards the life that we're actually trying to build out here. And so I say, will every plant thrive? Probably not. Will we make mistakes? I'd say without a doubt, but that's kind of the beauty of this, because growth rarely happens all at once. It's built one season at a time, one lesson at a time, and one project at a time. And whether that's some crazy custom build that we're doing or these boxes, that's what matters. And that's truly why we're excited to see just where these boxes might take us. Not just what grows in them, but what grows because of them. The memories they did create and will help create in the future, the lessons they'll teach, and hopefully the traditions they'll start years to come. Considering we went into this build with a mere vision in our heads and stuck with it this far to have something even remotely resembling garden beds is pretty cool. At the start of this, with no knowledge and a little research of Hugelkultur, I didn't expect to go back to our Papa's farm, use materials he did prior, but with that being said, this build was more or less just an opportunity to get outside with the kiddos, work with our hands, and have you guys follow along. And I think that's one of the main reasons I was so passionate when I pitched this idea of KinStead and the new series to Tanner. It's exactly what I hoped for and what KinStead is. Not some grand plan where we have everything figured out, just a family coming together to build something and going back to their roots.
And just like that, I think we have a quote-unquote garden. Now, I don't know if we can call this a homestead yet, but it is at least our start. Now, I think the unique thing about this is it's not our normal builds. You know, normally we're in the shop milling lumber, buying expensive lumber, spending hours, days, weeks on one project. It was a little different. It felt nice. You?
I think it's just kind of funny. Our grandpa spent his entire life working and living off this land. And you know, it's not, you know, hundreds of acres and Alice Chalmers tractors around here, but it is a start. And if you like this video or any of our other videos, be sure to click the ones listed right now. I think this is a pretty good one, yeah.
I think this might be a good build, a good video, a good start. But I'll be honest with you, dude. I can't hardly take any more of this when the kids are out playing. This is a family channel. I gotta go.